Yeah, hi, it's the 9th of July 2018 at 3:30 p.m. I've been talking about this image for weeks now, or it seems like weeks, and you could be forgiven for thinking I've got some sort of altruistic motive in mind, or trying to sort of help everybody and be all that sort of stuff. It's not the case. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'm actually I'm probably using the channel just to get my own thoughts out, to explore them, and actually try and drill down and get some sort of make sort of some sort of sense out of the way I do things. It's probably enhancing self-awareness more than anything else. Uh, whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. And I certainly don't speak with any authority. I'm sort of discovering it as I go along. But what I've worked out, I've broken it down into two zones, into the empath zone, into the narc zone, as you all know. And what I would describe each as is one is the loner mentality, which involves a creative mindset. For example, to be creative, I've got to get up here. I've got to get up until this region here, and then it flows like a fountain. Even down here, you inform me or you agree with me, something does nothing, or we get up here, it still does nothing. And it's only up here that my mind starts generating and having fun and playing and doing all that sort of stuff, and that's when it becomes really creative. And if you talk to a lot of creative people, say, "Oh, just have fun." Yeah, it's because they're getting up here all the time. They're getting out of here, and they probably put themselves in a kind of skunk works to make sure they're not around people that'll drag them down to that. And then they get together and clown around, goof around, do all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it all gets creative. But right now we've got, I think, because of the rise of narcissism, and it's huge at the moment, it's epidemic. It's just so many of us are into this area here. And you've only got to look at YouTube channels, even the other mgtow channels, not all of them, but a lot of them. It's dragging you into this area, okay. And I describe it as survival mindset. It's well, you're in a fight with a whole lot of bunch of people. You have to survive. You might win, but you're really just surviving. Chances are you're losing in the end. But it interests me from the point of view of working out where the world's going in the future. I don't know what you think, but I tend to look at trends, and you don't have to be, have a crystal ball to see they're talking about robotics and autonomous driving and all that sort of stuff. And the jobs are going. That's what they're saying will happen, and the chances are, if they say it's going to happen, it will happen. That's usually the way, and I sort of look at it and think, well, yeah, most of the jobs that are learned by training can be done, just by reprogramming something. And you think, yeah, it's a bit hard to believe, but yeah, who would have ever thought cars would drive themselves about? Yeah, so I can believe that's coming. In which case, narcissism and group mentality is not going to help you. Yeah, okay, you're going to be given people will be given a universal basic income. But all the jobs will be done by robots. So what do people do? Well, I guess the only thing left to do is be creative and try and help them be of some benefit to one another, or be of some value to one another. So I look at all this infighting between men and women and left and right and that sort of thing. I think, yeah, it's all very interesting. But maybe you really should be considering it, because, and comparing the present to the future, and because the future, all of this infighting, it's going to be a waste of time. Any sort of idea, subscribing to any sort of ideology or anything else like that, would be a waste of time. They're talking about, socialism's going to win, socialism's going to come back. Yeah, that was 1920, for goodness sake. That's when all the people that were going to experiment with socialism experimented with it, and they're the last people who want it now. They're the ones that have had it are the ones fighting against it the strongest. Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be tending to look at them and think, well, maybe they've got a point. But no, people say, I don't know, we'll do it better. But the problem's going to be, it doesn't matter. It's group mentality. Same as religion, actually. Yeah. It's all group mentality. Whenever you're in a group, you're going to have group think. It's just that's the way, and it's not a creative mindset. So you're going to be wanting to use this, have this creative ability, even in conversation, and trying to live in a group mentality. It's going to fight with itself. Yeah, so you just keep getting dragged down to here again. But the idea of the mind visor is just say you put it in your mind, and you think about it. You go away and just think about it quietly. At some point, and then you might say, I'll give it a go. This morning I woke up. I don't know. I was upset about something. I don't know. I was sort of like I was in this left-right mentality type thing, or male, female, and I can't remember what I was thinking now. It was only this morning, but I was really angry about it. I was down here, and somehow I'd gotten down here, and I think I sucked myself down into it, and I was getting really steamed up. And I called this image to mind, the blue, the nice peaceful blue, the red that I try to, I just sort of, and I thought, where am I? I thought, yep, we're down here, get up here. A few minutes later, I'm up there. I thought, oh, phew, thank God for that. I honestly can't even remember what I was upset about now, but I was getting quite wound up. And I thought, yeah, and had I stayed there, I wouldn't have done this vid today. Wouldn't have happened. I would have been caught up in this horrible little shit fight that I'd gotten myself into, which I can't, it was so important to me at the time. I can't remember what it was now. A couple of hours later, a few hours later, can't remember what it was about. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's what I look at. And we look at our position in the group that we're in, and it's us versus them mentality, and all the self-righteousness that comes with it. Either side, doesn't matter. Either group. Now both of them. Oh no, we're right. Oh, we're the best. Yeah. And that's the thing about narcissism. And I've been wanting to say this for a long time, and never get a chance to get it out. Narcissism hides itself like you wouldn't believe. Like I ask anybody, are you a narcissist? Oh, God, no. No, oh no, I'm not. No. See, and the thing is though, what do you think of your group, men, or your country, or this or that, or the people you work with? Or what? Oh, we're the best. Oh, we're right. We're the best. Yeah. So that's where the narcissism is in the group think, in the group mentality. You're subscribing to it. You're drawing down on the narcissism, but ask and pin you to the point of are you a narcissist? Oh my God, I'm not a narcissist. No. Yeah, but then look at which groups you belong to. What's their attitude? And then sit back and tell me you're not a narc. And that's where it's at. Yeah, because I'm sorry, even in men's groups, women's groups, political groups, religious groups, educational groups, all sorts of groups, any group, you'll find there's not many groups around. So, oh no, we're not the good group. We're we've got problems in our group. Yeah, we want to, like the loners. I think if loners are a group, I don't think anybody say, oh, you loners are the one. Yeah, the loners are the best. It's sort of like, I'm a loner. I've got my problems. Yeah, I don't know that I'm. It's the right way to live. Can't really convince anybody, but I try to sound authoritative about it. So I mean, if there's a group, it's probably, I'd say the loners are the honest. Or the most honest of all, in appraising themselves. Yeah, we're not the loners. Well, I suppose, I don't know. Lots of guys are sort of strong on it, but it's self-defeating, isn't it? How can you have a group of loners? Which is basically my camp of the camp of mgtow that I'm in, or trying to be in. Not that a lot of people get their mind around that, but I can. So look. It's just and that's the narcissism is coming out. It's everywhere. It just seeps out. It just oozes out of everywhere. And it's like poison to creativity. And put simply, it's a very old thing. Narcissism is old. It uses the same mannerisms, the same techniques, the same put downs, that would have been used in the 13th century. That's how old it is. And I believe it's reaching a stage where it's now revealed. Everybody knows what it is. And they didn't prior to, say, 2010. There's very little known about narcissism. But suddenly there's just been this boom explosion. A lot of people can see it. And, we don't want it. We're now getting, and I think this is what's underneath all this walkaway type stuff. I mean, mgtow was the first walkaway movement. And now we've got hashtag walkaway, walking away from, I think it's the Democratic Party, I think that's what that's all about. But it's this people walking away, and particularly the millennials. And I suspect they are seeing that, it's the old ways of thinking are no good to them. They can see what's coming. They can't get jobs already. The future doesn't look too bright. A lot of them are looking to YouTube. Having this groupthink mentality is not going to help them. They need a creative mindset. They need to grow and start developing ideas, social ideas actually, that not developed by one or two people, but just different people. Loads of different people doing different things. I think that's the way it's going. You need an individuality. You can't be just all copying one another because it's no point. Interesting though, isn't it? But that's the whole point of it. It's just a discovery process. I'm not suggesting you should download one of these. I mean, it helps me. It's just, all I do is just call it to mind. The blue and the red, and this idea, and that's all I need. I just bring that up, and it sort of gets me up here because it's nicer up there. I don't want to be down here in hell. I want to be up there in heaven. Flying around. Loop in the loop and how it is. So look, it's just something to think about. But the future, I think will be. I think you'll need to be creative. It's funny because it reminds me when I was in the futures market in 1982 or thereabouts, and I went up. We had trading rings in those days, and I went up there and I said, one day this is all going to be done by computer. And they all laughed at me. It was the craziest thing they'd ever heard. Funny, Now you don't find a human being in the process. But in those days, they couldn't see. I just looked. I thought, computers all around the place. I thought, well, it wouldn't be too hard to get a computer to match up trades. I didn't have any computing experience, but I sort of got the idea roughly of what they were. I thought, it's not much of a stretch of the imagination to think they could do that. But just in the same way, it's not much of a stretch of imagination to think that, what are people going to do? Well, they better create something and create some value and try and help others. So to do that, you're going to need a creative mindset. And probably, if you can get up there, the better off the chance you're going to have. But that's what this has all been about. Okay. Anyway, it's good talking to you. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.